following is a quote used recently by a past member of the Attic who had emigrated and now lives in Canada. Today I represent him and his voice in the absence forced upon him due to emigration in this country. We are out for Ireland for the Irish. But who are the Irish? Not the rack-renting, slum-owning landlord, not the sweating, profit-grinding capitalist, not the sleek and oily lawyer, not the prostitute pressman, the hired liars of the enemy. Not these are the Irish upon whom the future depends. Not these, but the Irish working class, the only secure foundation upon which a free nation can be reared. A quote from James Connolly. On this year of the 1916 commemoration, do you believe that the men and women who fought for us in 1916 would be happy with the Ireland that we live in today?
Can I just get a word right down this way and then finish with James Morgan? So, Donald, please.
To answer the question, I would say, no, they wouldn't be happy, but they didn't know anything about arbitrage computers. You know, it's the same, you talk about Adam Smith and capitalism and economies. He didn't know the way the world was going to go when he said it, and we're all based. But basically, I would say, from a human rights point of view, and I go back to you, Ewan, human rights point of view, racism, no. They wouldn't be happy to see the way this country is.
Okay, thanks, Donald.
No, they wouldn't, Adam. You're quite right, they wouldn't be. They wouldn't like to see the way we have been absolutely decimated with additional taxes like the water, the USC, the property, the prescription taxes, the things you're hearing about your own home, the fact that people are being thrown out of their own homes, that the health services have been staffed right across the board, the social services are no longer there, the people in the community are having to pick up the voluntary sector are trying to pick up where all of the services have been decimated. And no, they would not be happy with it. And the bottom line is, we have to fight back. We can no longer be trodden on by promises that have been broken. We need to keep politicians that you elect accountable for what they do and what they say. And if we don't do that, we will continue to be walked on, as we have in this county for the last 5 years, and I make no apologies about it. We have been left behind by a long shot. Nobody cares. And the Attic are an example of a community getting together, kicking ass and saying, we're doing it for ourselves. But that's not good enough. You need the support of government. Your parents are paying their taxes. They are out there working their hearts off to get you through college and to try to ensure you have a good future. And you're a lost generation almost to the way you're being treated. And it's wonderful to see you here today. And honest to God, it's the fact that you're only 16 today, it's a pity, Adam, you're right, you should have a vote. Because I'll tell you, I have never heard anything like the way you are so articulate and so driven by how you feel inside. And I have to say, congratulations, well done. Even though I'm sitting on the steering committee of Corner and Nogan, I know what's going on in the background, I know the services that we're trying to get money for to put in place, but I'll tell you, you're fantastic.
So my great-granduncle, the O'Reilly, founded the Volunteers. Easter Sunday he kisses his pregnant wife, his 4 kids goodbye, knowing he'll never see them again. He dies in the GPO. Then my granny goes on, does 3 years in prison, does 34 days in hunger strike. Both of those were fighting for a socialist republic, not a republic of privatisation, of controlling corporations. It would break their hearts. But by the end of this year, we could have started an entire revolution towards the world they wanted. At the moment, we're importing 6 billion of oil. There's every capacity. Within 5-10 years, we can be 100% energy renewal, saving that 6 billion, not giving it to corrupt chiefs. That can start immediately if we make the choices next week.
Okay, thank you, Malcolm. James.
Thanks very much. We have made progress since 1916. Ireland is now the fastest growing economy in the EU. This is for the 2nd year running. We have stuck to a lot of our promises not to increase income tax. The unemployment rate has been reduced considerably. I take it only 5 years ago, unemployment was running at 15.1%. Today it's running at 9%.
Not in Longford, James. Not in Longford.
9% and fall.
Twice the national average.
Manners and this
is
we overhauled the child protection system and we established we also rolled out GP care.
James, no, I tell you, James, I'm going to repent. I don't want to hear your manifesto. I want to hear answer
qualities now are reality. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, James. Connie.
Adam, Ireland is today. You were talking 1916, this is 2016. 1916, people stood up for what they believed in at that time. Socially, economically, they were suppressed, and they decided to take action into their own hands and do something about it. We are 2016 now, and life has evolved, society has evolved, technology has taken over. We're living in a whole different world. So we have to first of all acknowledge that. The distractions that we have now are very, very different. The problems, the issues that we have. And however, no more than the people of 1916, you have to appreciate they responded. They responded in a way in which they felt they had to respond in order to make a change. And I would say you will have to respond in the very same way, in the sense that you need to be coming up with your own ideas. You need to be actually, having hustings like this a little more often. And you need to be working with the people who will work with you to demand change and to make things better for yourselves.
Okay, thank you, Connie. Barbara?
Excuse me, I'm absolutely second as to where we are here in 2016. I think they'd be turning in their grave. 100 years ago, we fought a foreign oppressor, and unfortunately 100 years later, we have our very own oppressors. Our very own government are neglecting 80% of our population. They're keeping the rich, and they have left you guys with nothing to look forward to, nothing jobs-wise to look forward to. It's horrendous, and it sickens me.
Thank you, Barbara. James, final wish for you.
It's pretty tough going listening to all of that and all the political end of it. I'm a little different than most politicians. I just answer the question, and the answer is no.
Okay, thank you. On behalf of Comhairle and Noel, I'd like to express our greatest gratitude to you coming in. And I know it's been a long day on each and every one of you, and I know, and we do realise you are human, okay? We know you need to get tea, coffee, food and everything like that, but we really appreciate you taking the time out to come and listen to the voices of young people.